final quarter of this race between Imperial College B and Reading University A.
So Reading University is Ryan and Grove.
So Reading University is Ryan and Grove, and in the Imperial it's Hellard and Wood. So on the panning between the two races, we've got the start of the senior quadruple sculls for the Chairman's Trophy, and this first heat is between Reading University B on the Berkshire station, and on the Buck station is Newcastle University.
Oh, Reading heading straight for the booms.
Oh. Close to the start now. We are looking at Reading that are getting extremely close to the booms. Oh, I think they've actually just they've just come into contact with it, but they've managed to not get too tangled up with the concrete booms. They've moved away and they're back into their rhythm. And almost having to do a race restart on a rolling start to get back on turns. This Newcastle crew.
So 34 near side crew.
So Reading University Boat Club are on 34.
33.
And Newcastle are striking 33, and they're just using that length and that being under pipping it by one. They're just probably saving a little bit for the central section of the race. And as they're moving away from the barrier, we're looking towards the Corpus Office building, and Newcastle University are pushing away. Just a name check for the two crews. So we've got Drummond, Turner, Albrook and Adams in the Newcastle crew, and we've got with the Newcastle that was the Newcastle crew, and with the Reading University B crew, we're just having a look for that one, and that is Smart, Fuller, Norton and Radcliffe.
Well, that's a fairly close race there between Reading University B crew and Newcastle University. As they move their way through the regatta enclosure, we'll bring you the results of the senior double sculls races, which have just concluded. Race number 57 was a win for Bath University B over Exeter University. So they join Bath University A, their club colleagues, in the quarterfinals tomorrow afternoon at around 3:30. In the second race, race number 58, Oxford University Boat Club were, I'm afraid, knocked out of the competition by Molesey Boat Club. Molesey winning in a time of 5:38 and a distance of half a length. Bath University B won in a time of 5:32 and a distance of 4.5 lengths. So Molesey Boat Club and Bath University B meet each other tomorrow. In the second two races, the Worcester Rowing Club Worcester University Composite beat Durham University by 4.5 lengths in a time of 5 minutes 44 seconds. And Reading University A crew of Ryan and Grove beat the Imperial College B crew of Hellard, Tim and Wood by 2 lengths in a time of 5 minutes 36 seconds.
Right, so we're back with this race for race number 61, and that's between Reading and Newcastle. Newcastle was still in the lead, and we're just looking towards the Upper Thames boathouse and moving on towards the Chairman's enclosure. It's that Newcastle crew are looking a nice tidy crew compared to the Reading University B crew is just slightly out on their timing between the middle pair. We're now just panning on the camera now to race number 62, which is Oxford Brookes University versus Newcastle Uni. So we're passing towards the corporate offices building. There we've got Oxford Brookes striking 33, and we've got Newcastle at 36. It's great to see my old university, Oxford Brookes, getting in there with so many sculling boats this year, and it's to see a quad.
And in the
Really
Oxford
sing
Brookes University crew this year, we've got Zoe Taylor, Georgina Grant, Robin Armstrong and Emily Herridge, racing against Nottingham University, the crew of Harriet Swindles, Lucy Gilbanks, Nina Glamborn and Imogen North.
The Oxford Brookes are still looking very strong at 32.
Compared with 36.
Whereas you're looking at with the Nottingham Uni at 36, they're throwing everything in the kitchen sink at this Brookes crew. They're just coming through the regatta enclosure. I'm sure that there'll be supporters from both clubs on the bank there, really getting behind both crews, and it's the Oxford Brookes boat are looking supreme in this heat of the senior quadruple sculls, and that is for the Chairman's Trophy. On towards Upper Thames Boathouse, we're looking at the Oxford Brookes are still pressing away, but the umpire has just put his flag up and is asking Brookes to move back onto the Berkshire station. It's a cheeky little move by their steersman in that boat. They're just trying to make use of their lead and sort of almost send back down a little bit of water to say, here we are, we're ahead of you, and we're staying ahead with the best opportunity possible and using the best of the water. Brookes have now responded to the umpire and they've moved back towards their station, and you can see both crews are quite even on their rating at the moment. They're not far from the chairman's enclosure towards this finish line, and they've just finished. So we're now on to the next race. Which is the next round of the senior quad sculls between Headington School and Guildford Rowing Club. Oh. So the Headington crew, I've got some information here on them. We've got a crew of Stemple, Little, King and Kingsmith have rowed and won 2 golds at Women's Henley Regatta in the Peabody Women's Eights. And they were in the final of the Henley Royal Regatta last year for the quadruple sculls. Semple, Wurtzbridge and King Smith competed last year at the Coupe.
And then in the crew from Guildford, we've got Jackie Johnson, Emma Lucy Pinchbeck, Annika Gleichman and Lenka Higley.
We seem to have on one of the screens at the moment it's a visual of a swan being followed. It's making his way up to the start. Now, whilst we're waiting for the camera to pan back onto back onto the race and actually seeing the start of that Headington race against Guildford Rowing Club, and already Headington were looking very strong off that start in that start sequence of the first 10 strokes, and you're probably looking at a half, three-quarter sort of pacing on the length of the strokes as they're coming into the start. That I think we had a time check of it was at 46 off the start from Headington. That was a very high start sequence, and they're making full use of the speeds taken from that. And you can see as they pan over from the top of the island, they're already looking at a length and a half lead over Guildford Rowing Club. It's great to see one of the provincial clubs, such as Guildford Rowing Club, which it's got quite a short stretch of water to be training on there. I mean, you're looking at actually only, I believe it's only about 600-metre stretch for them to be training on. So there's an awful lot of turning around during training sessions, but certainly for one of the smaller Surrey clubs, actually, as we're talking about Guildford, they're heading towards the booms now, and it's going to be a little bit dangerous if they're looking at the gap between the booms, as hopefully they straighten up, and as I say that, they've just straightened up, and they've recorrected back onto the straight line, but they're extremely close to the booms on that side. And on the opposite side, Headington are not much further away from the booms either, and it looks very, very close for Headington on the line. Both crews have now settled, and they're getting towards our tower here now. At the
Headington on 35.
So we've got Headington at 35 at the moment, and we're just past the tower, and we've got Guildford at 35 and a half. Correct.
34 and a half. Sorry.
And we're now looking at the difference between these two crews. So you can see that the Headington girls' school crew are just very well drilled. It'd be interesting to see if that's their entry for Royal as well. There's been an awful lot of development in the quadruple sculls for junior women, and hopefully in the coming years we're going to see quite a lot coming through for the senior ranks for the national team. You just see now is that Guildford are just looking a little bit laboured with their stroke, and whilst they've got quite a bit of length on their strength, it's just not looking racy enough, and you're seeing Headington just sending off into the distance now towards the Upper Thames Boathouse. They're looking very, very, very strong, this Headington crew. It'll be interesting to see how they get on tomorrow now, looking ahead to their match-up, their next match-up.
So they're juniors. So Helen, I find it really interesting, having not been around the rowing scene in the UK for consistent years, just casting my mind back to when Beryl Crockford, or Beryl Mitchell as she was in those days, started coaching down at Lady Eleanor Hollis School, and I very vividly remember those junior girls back in the day racing here at Henley and being quite a way ahead of all of the other junior schools. And then Headington really getting stuck into a rowing programme and challenging Lady Eleanor Hollis, and looking at how strong they are now. It's really fantastic to see schoolgirls sculling like that. They are obviously tall girls and strong, but really strong sculling and good technique as well, as you say, incredibly well drilled. Maybe for Guildford, 600 metres is not really long enough to get the full benefit of doing some drills.
No, I quite agree. Hopefully, from taking this experience in the senior quads, they'll move on to next year, and we'll be able to see them hopefully work on towards the next round. We've just seen the start, and then panning into the two races now, and the start of the next race, which is race number 64 for the senior quad sculls, and that is a race between Reading University A crew on the Berkshire station, and we've got University of London on the Bucks station.
So Reading University is represented by Anna Smart, Amy Fuller, Victoria Norton and Katie Ratcliffe. The University of London Boat Club is represented by Lottie Bruce, Fionnuala Gannon, Chloe Wilson and Harriet Orr. A couple of Irish sounding names in that crew. As they came off the end of the island, it was nice and close. As they come past the commentary box, it's still pretty close, but University of London have managed to steal a canvas lead over Reading University. I must say this is the Reading University A crew. There is a B crew. Which was the crew that raced race number 61 and were pipped to the post by Newcastle University. So it's up to Reading University A crew now to keep the university in the race, in the event.
Well, once again, we look at the overhead shot now, back down to the finish here of the race between Reading University A and University of London. And Lizzie's busy throwing microphones and goodness knows what round here. I can also report that Stan has managed to break the microphone that he left behind. So, all go, 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 and terrific seeing these quads powering down this Henley course on what's been a gorgeous afternoon, the 30th year of Henley Women's Regatta, and I've never seen so many people here on a Friday afternoon. It's absolutely superb. Congratulations to Miriam Batten and the committee, who have just made this one of the best events, certainly on the Thames, and it's a world-class event.
Sure is.
Lovely to see so many sponsors as well. I was just looking through the programme, and it struck me a few years ago how they were scratching around trying to get anybody just to sponsor it, and now sponsors are coming forward, some really, really big names, and thank you very much indeed to all those sponsors who make this regatta, with everything that goes with it, possible. And we're able to bring you these images. Look at this race now on the course, absolutely fantastic. At the top of the island, you can see there that it's Henley on the bank side, up against Surrey University. And this is the senior quadruple sculls. And you were talking earlier about clubs punching well above their weight in junior rowing, and Henley, the Henley programme, has produced some fantastic results. I think they were the leading club recently at National Schools Regattas with, I think I read somewhere they won 8 gold medals, was it? 6 silvers and 4 bronze medals, and the juniors there at Henley Rowing Club.
So in this crew,
brilliantly.
Oh, sorry.
This crew are these.
Yeah, this is the crew of Katie Parker, Hannah Smith, Natalie Atkinson, and Emily Pimlott.
So having rambled on there about the juniors, this is a senior crew that they've got out here who are doing good work, and it's pretty level as they come past our commentary position. We've got a wonderful view there of some bloke. Oh no, it's not bloke. Sorry, some lady walking down the towpath, and going past me anyway. We've got Henley and Surrey.
Yeah, University of Surrey. This is the crew of Rachel Ebbins, Cecile Flavin, Elizabeth Hatch, and Charlotte Gill.
And Henley, having got ahead off the top of the island and been in front, have now just been reined in. Surrey, University of Surrey, about half a length here ahead, and the University of Surrey just look to be knocking this along, and they're
Helen was just saying that
ahead,
they train with Molesey Boat Club these days, so they're getting some good training in, some really good training competition, and they certainly look, even though they're not the neatest crew in the world, there's certainly lots of power in there, and they look as though they've put the homework in, don't they?
They do indeed, but it's the Henley crew on the near side that need a bit of a lift here. They're just letting the other crew get away from them, so maybe the roar from the crowd, bit of home support wouldn't go amiss here. Surrey University lead as they go through the boating enclosures, but there's not a lot in it, probably about half a length, 3/4 of a length maybe. So Henley need to respond there, as you can see we've got photograph image on the top right hand side of your screen of the next race, which is Bath up against Tideway Scullers School. The umpire's been pretty busy in this race. Tideway Scullers seem to have got ahead of Bath University. Bath steering had to be said, left a bit to be desired. The umpire has warned them quite a bit, and all of those shenanigans have meant that Tideway Scullers School have a lead of 3 or 4 lengths probably as they head down now towards us. Yep, they've got a very, very good lead indeed. Tideway Scullers School. Bath making a bit of a mess of the start. Have left the door open here for Tideway Scullers School.
And that's the Tideway Scullers School of Amelia Carlton, Olivia Uguz, Georgina Granfield and Francesca Rawlins. Looking very neat.
And with 2 races still on the course, we've got an image there of the start. But heading past us, it's a commanding lead, it has to be said, for Tideway Scullers School.
Yeah, looks as though Bath University crew of Christina Cackett, Eleanor Denham, Robin Bell and Anna Willis, plucky effort, but looks as though they're going to be in the regatta enclosure tomorrow, enjoying the sunshine.
So senior 4s on the start, we've got Edinburgh University against Mortlake, Anglia and Alpha.
That'll be the Edinburgh University crew of Lydia Curry, Anne Rodal, Mairi Buchan and Alex Rankin. Racing against the Mortlake, Anglian and Alpha crew of Claire Brown, Sophie Piper, Jade Robertson and Amy Hudson.
You got an image there of the closing stages of the previous race, which was Henley Rowing Club and Surrey University. Looks like Surrey University crossed the line there. Good couple of lengths ahead of Henley. But back at the start, it is Edinburgh up against Mortlake. Edinburgh are on the Berkshire station, that's the one nearest to the towpath. Mortlake and Anglia on the middle of the course. And not really possible from that angle to see who's ahead. We're on race 67, it's the senior quadruple sculls. Racing due to finish here at 10:26 Henley time. Same as London time. But we know you're watching from all around the world. We hope you enjoy the coverage and the racing. And there's been some very, very exciting races today, some close races. And hopefully we're in for a bit of a treat here because we've got Edinburgh up against Mortlake. And Stan pointed out, I think probably on more than one occasion, that Edinburgh is now a high performance centre with world-class start, or the start programme as he referred it, and that clearly makes a difference not only in recruiting but also developing athletes. And it's Edinburgh that have a lead as they approach. We're about a third of the way down the course and Edinburgh have a decent lead in this race. We'll give you some results after the next heat of the senior 4s, which is Exeter against Kingston. Meanwhile, on the track, as they say at the moment, it's Edinburgh University up against Mortlake. And Edinburgh looking very, very tidy indeed, sitting up, pushing some puddles away, and that's a decent lead. And Mortlake Anglia Alpha trying to chase them down, but there's quite a bit of distance between these two crews as they head away from us. They're moving down towards the enclosures, and you've got a really decent crowd by the side of the river. There's fantastic buzz there. There's lots of outlets selling everything to do with rowing, and quite a bit not to do with rowing, actually. There's some very tidy little food outlets, and I'm pleased to say, Elizabeth, there's a bar.
With gin and tonic?
I should sincerely hope so. Now, you're dashing
Hopefully
off for
with gin and
drinks,
tonic,
aren't you?
yeah.
Soon. But it's been great to have you here. It's lovely to have you back in the country.
It's really lovely to be here as well. And I must say, looking at the live feed, I'm really delighted to see how many people, having been one of those people that looks in themselves, it's really lovely to actually see the numbers and see how many people from here and from overseas are beaming in to pick up the results. So welcome to all of you. On Facebook and on YouTube, you can have a look at the live feed. And certainly on Facebook, we're picking up your comments. So loving it when you're cheering your crews on and giving us a bit of information. Please carry on doing it. And for those of my friends who don't know much about rowing who are in on that live feed, I can see you, and really good to welcome you to this world. Hope you're enjoying it.
Exeter up against Kingston, just off the start and heading up towards the top of the island, and the umpires have been a bit busy here today. These crews trying to get that early advantage. Kingston have stayed pretty much straight and on their station. Exeter, on the other hand, have had to take a wee bit of a detour there. The umpire didn't like the way they were drifting towards the centre of the river. Kingston with those red and white tops. One of my kids used to call them that lot with the Where's Wally top. Do you remember Where's Wally? It was good, wasn't it?
Sure do. It's alive and kicking in Australia, I must say.
Where's Wally?
Find the Munster fans for rugby wearing the
Yeah, the red and white, but they're very distinctive colours there of Kingston Rowing Club, and they are ahead here. Here's our friend the drone. That's been flying all day, bringing you these fantastic images. As we look down, it is Kingston Rowing Club, probably only 3 or 4 feet in it, as they settle now down into their race pace. Kingston Rowing Club and Exeter go past us, and it looks to be not too much in that, is there? There's probably a canvas?
Or maybe, but it's on the right side right now. Helen and I both learnt to row at Kingston Rowing Club, so or we're competitors at Kingston Rowing Club. So go Kingston, and all of you watching on the live view.
And there's plenty of you out there. Go Exeter! Great season in the rugby. Hey, go you Chiefs! Fantastic. Right. There might be. Kingston Rowing Club then on the centre station. Just squeezed out a lead, but they're not having it all their own way. They're coming under an awful lot of pressure here from Exeter. And I would suggest there's still a fair bit in this senior quadruple sculls. Quarterfinals we're at, yes. Race today, go through race tomorrow afternoon. And it is about pacing yourself, but you've got to win it to be in it, haven't you? Really, you don't progress through. So it's knockout, very gladiatorial, 1 against 1, and absolutely brilliant race. This Exeter University not letting Kingston get away. Exeter closest to us as we look at the screen. Kingston on the far side, and a very, very tight race indeed. They're moving away now. They've gone past the halfway point, and from our angle we can see that Exeter are just beginning to drift in towards the middle again, and all of that sort of weaving requiring some adjustment in the steering can cost you a little bit of distance. Kingston steered extremely well here in that station in the centre of the river. As they head now down, they're going past Upper Thames Rowing Club, and they'll be approaching the finish. And Kingston leading, but Exeter not letting them get away now. Who's got the sprint finish? Who wants to go through to tomorrow more than the other? Kingston look as if they've upped their rate here. Got my two experts next to me with their rate watches, but clearly they haven't got any batteries in them.
Near side is 35.
And Exeter rating 35. Kingston?
33.
A rating 33. So Kingston just under rating Exeter, and Exeter trying to put on a bit of a sprint here, but this will be a very close finish. Coming up to the line there.
34 and a half.
Can't be very far to go. Have Kingston held on as the camera
35 and a half.
angle will straighten out? It's Kingston on the far side. Oh, they get across the line. What was that? Just over half a length. We'll give you the results then of those races very shortly. We hope you're enjoying the coverage. We're certainly enjoying ourselves here. Glorious, glorious afternoon. Got the academic Coxed 4s coming up next. The batch of races